moving with pets, like this little one.
Or big ones.
Slithery ones, furry ones, little ones.
We have some tips for you. Moving with pets is really stressful for them. A lot of times people don't realize.
It can be stressful for you.
Well, obviously it's stressful for you, but it can be stressful for them as well. So, and this is Ellie, by the way. I'm sure most of you already know our little four-legged family member. This is Ellie Marie.
You might see her on our Instagram or Facebook. If you haven't, go check them out so you can see her.
Yeah. And she's been with us now a long time. She's 9 years old. She's going to be 10 in October.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and as you can see, she's wild.
Hey. Come on, Ellie.
Come back. Come back.
But moving is stressful, and a lot of times people don't think of that. You've got enough to think about already while you're moving and traveling. So we just wanted to give a few pointers that we've came across and some that we learned ourselves. If you are moving at a short distance away, things can be a little bit different than doing sort of a long haul like we did when we moved from Ohio to California. So we have some suggestions. First of all, remember that moving can be really stressful for your animal. They're used to their home, and then you're going to uproot them and take them somewhere else. So if you are moving maybe within a day's journey, or you're nearby, possibly before you actually make that the initial move, that you could go to the neighborhood a couple times, walk them around, let them sniff things and get used to the neighborhood if you are moving sort of close by. And then make sure that you do take some blankets, their bedding, maybe a toy or two if they have a favorite one that makes them comfortable, food and water. And another thing that somebody else had brought up to me is that if you are traveling, let's say for a couple days distance, just like us, water can actually affect you, different water. And so I've heard where people will take maybe a gallon or so of the water that the dog is used to, or cat is used to drinking.
If
right?
You give them filter water, bring filter water.
Yeah, because
whatever.
Some animals' digestive systems are really sensitive,
especially when they're freaking out or they're anxious. Their whole eating and drinking habits are different.
Right. And then of course a leash and a harness, because obviously if you do stop for a restroom break, you want to make sure you hang on to them.
You don't want them to run away.
Right. But make sure also that you have a current picture on your phone, which I'm sure everybody pretty much has a picture of their dog or cat
in their background.
But just make sure you do, in case for some reason you have to put out a little lookout for your dog if they've roamed away. And then don't forget if they're taking any current medications. Some dogs don't, or cats don't do too well in the car. So check with your veterinarian about any medicine or CBD type products that would be helpful for them to help calm them down a little bit. And then so we also have to consider a carrier, a cage, and if you are traveling by car or truck, and you're going to be traveling by yourself, maybe you could ask a friend or someone to go with you to sort of just help the animal while it's in the car.
If it's close enough, or
if you have somebody that can travel with you.
Because it is difficult watching an animal while trying to drive, and you're trying to be safe.
Right. And then of course there are dog restraints now.
Like little car seats.
Yeah, which are really cool. Ellie has something like that, but she doesn't like it. So, and then another thing to remember too is once the dog does get to its new home, maybe if you probably will bring its own bedding and stuff, but maybe like one of your t-shirts or one of the kids' t-shirts or a pillow or just something that smells.
Has your scent on it.
Yeah, and smells like the old house.
Oh, yeah.
So they have something.
Yeah, because it's a new environment and they're just, not used to it.
Right. And then of course, if your animal is sick, you're going to have to definitely make sure you get them to feel better before you take them on any kind of an adventure. And then there's also where if you are flying, some folks do fly to get to their new destination if it's a ways away. So you're going to have to check with your your airlines.
See what the rules are
for their carriers, and of course medication for that as well, because you don't want them to be howling for a 5 or 6 or 8 hour plane ride.
No.
Let's see, what else did we have on our notes? Oh, and another thing, if you have a really brand new puppy, I actually have read where the airlines won't take a really young animal.
A small dog.
Yeah, like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Like one that's really
you know,
new.
just, you know.
Yeah, so make sure you check all that out before you travel. And then, like in our case, we traveled with Ellie from Ohio to California. So I think I might be wrong, but that maybe was around 2,500 miles.
Yeah.
We went from Ohio down to the very bottom of Texas, and then from Texas to California because we visited some relatives. So it took about a 5-day trip. And Ellie, of course, was in a U-Haul truck with us. It was
just 3 of us in a U-Haul truck.
Three
and
of
Ellie
us
with us.
Yeah.
So.
So we were fortunate enough. She's small enough, you know, we could.
Yeah, she can hang out with us.
Hang out
but
too.
If you had a bigger animal.
Yeah.
You know, you have to take a different vehicle with you, or an extra vehicle with you. You know, so they're comfortable.
Yeah. And then let's see, what else did we have on our notes? Oh, also just to sort of remember that if your dog or cat is acting up a little bit or not, you know, it's just sort of misbehaving, I guess just like a kid, you have to remember that you know, this is different for them.
New.
So
they're in a new environment. And,
yeah.
You know, they're going to be a little scared at first, and especially if you have a bunch of movers, you know, moving all your stuff in and out, maybe just put them in a little room, close the door, so they're not going to get stepped on or, you know, freak out with everybody coming in and out, or you don't want them to just run out of the house. So maybe put them in there, you know, just give them their bed. Anything that they can smell that smells like you or the old house just makes them comfortable.
Right, and also remember that if you are traveling for a few days like we did, and you're going to stop to stay in a hotel, don't forget to make sure that hotel does
accepts dogs.
Yeah, allows dogs to stay.
Because you'll just have to turn around.
Yes, and let's see, we also another tip that we found out from some folks that did travel by plane is if possible a direct flight. You know, I know that's hard to do today. There's so many stopovers.
Even without an animal, you want to take a direct flight,
right? But that probably would really help if that's possible.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else? Some other things that we came up with. Oh, make sure you have their current ID and their rabies tags. For all their shots and things. I think we mentioned that.
Did you mention if their new address is on their collar?
Yes, this was something too that I didn't think about, but somebody else had mentioned was get them a new tag if you have the address.
Yeah,
you know where you're going. Have a tag made with their new address and of course a current phone number that if they do happen to get out because they're scared when you stop. And let's see. Gosh, let's see, what else do we have? Another thing too that somebody had mentioned as well was before the actual move. I know it's very chaotic for the adults are busy trying to get everything ready. Yeah. But if you can, and this goes for kids too, really, if you can try to keep everybody on a regular schedule for eating and exercising, and so the same would go for your dog. I'm sure they have a time that they eat and a time that they go for a walk.
Yeah, because the closer you get to your moving date, everything turns into chaos, and you're just trying to like box everything, move everything, get everything, under control, and you start forgetting about your daily routine, and your animal and kids, they fall out of that, and that's what they're used to. Yeah. So try to, keep going on walks or feed them at the exact same time you usually do. Just try to make it as comfortable as possible for them.
And another thing, though, that we didn't really have to worry about with Ellie, but that was brought to my attention by someone else who had a larger dog, is make sure before you move that either they've gone and been groomed, or if you take care of them and groom them at home, that you've kept up with the brushing, which I know who has time to do that when you're packing. Yeah. But because of the stress level of the animals, they'll lose a lot of fur. And let's say you have a German Shepherd or a lab. golden retriever, husky, they're going to shed a lot when they get nervous, and then you're going to have that everywhere, and then you've got that to deal with too.
So just another thing to deal with.
So it just, they sound like small things that really don't, seem like really that important, but
there's like little tips and reminders.
Yeah, and it's going to help you. Make it easy.
The main thing is to keep them comfortable and happy.
That's right.
With any animal, snake, lizard, fish. Sometimes you gotta move your fish in a bag, in a box, and it's a lot. So you can't forget about your pets. You don't want them to be the last thing you think about when you're moving.
Yeah.
They're very important, and you want them to be as happy as you can.
Yep, that's right. Family.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of everything that I can think of we had on our notes, but of course we'll tag some good articles that we've read and things like that. And also we have a checklist too that we'll try to get out there and post just as a reminder of some things to do beforehand. It's just like that checklist when you're moving.
Yeah, we'll either tag it with this video or add another post.
Yeah.
So you guys comment below if you have any ideas or suggestions or comments, and check out our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And so we hope you guys have a great day.
See you later.
Bye.